Alright everybody, so I'm going to show you how to assemble your car. This is what I've done, and so I just need to basically start over and show you what that looks like. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to create a new assembly. This is how you create new things, by the way. So I'm going to create an assembly, completely blank, and so in order to do this one, first I've got to start placing some objects. So I'm going to need to put that one in there. That's Part Studio 1. There's just that in there. So that's that. Now the first thing I probably want to do here is I want to fix this. So I'm going to hit check for just a second, and I want to go to oh no, it's not on there. I want to select that part. Really just want the whole part 1, double tap, and I want to fix part 1. Alright, so now that thing doesn't move at all. I'm trying to move it, it's not moving. Alright, I can move my view, but I can't do that. Alright, so I can move my view, but it's not going to move the part, which is great. It's kind of what I want. Alright, now I'm going to go and place my back part, and I'm going to do the whole thing. So it's kind of in 2 different parts. That's kind of weird. That's something we're going to have to do something with. So I'm going to select both parts. I'm going to choose to, I'm going to choose to group those 2 parts. 1 and 2. There we go. So if I group those parts, when I move this thing, it will move the whole thing and not just part of it. There we go. Okay. So then next thing I want to do is I want to get this thing attached. All right, so I have my holes and my knobs ready, so I'm going to get that working out. This part is different. So assembly is way different than Inventor, but it's really not that hard to figure out once you spend some time in it. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to make a fastened mate. So that means this thing's going to stick in into this thing and be there for, it's not going to change. So best thing I can do right now is I could make my hexagon be the fasten mate. So I'm going to click on the middle of the hexagon on that piece, and then I got to switch around here. And I'm going to do the middle of the hexagon on this piece. You have to tap the piece, and then you have to tap where you want it to fix to. All right, now it went away because I told it what it was doing. All right, so it's trying to fasten that piece. Right now it's doing the wrong direction, which is fine. I'm just going to switch the direction. All right, you'll see now it's upside down, but if I rotate this thing like that, then it is going to be perfectly aligned exactly what I want it to be, just like that. All right, now if I just leave that, then when I go to tap this thing, it won't move at all. That's what the fasten mate does, is it makes it not move at all. There's other types of mates you can do that we'll do here in a second, but that one doesn't move, which is really nice. So there we go. Wait, next I am going to add the front. So I'm going to place an object, and I'm going to put my truck front here. And again, I'm going to do Part Studio 5, the whole thing. And once again, if I go ahead and group those 2 parts that I just brought in, which would be these 2, then I don't need to worry about fixing the bottom here. So that bottom part is technically a separate part, but since I want to insert it in there, I'm just going to leave it. All right, I want to do the same thing. I'm going to fasten. Yikes. That thing. There we go. To, you notice that I'm unlocking the view to that thing. All right, and oh wow, that did it the way I wanted it to this time. That's great. All right, so that's all fastened. So again, none of this stuff is able to move. If I try to move this, it's not moving. By the way, the way you make things move is you select the arrows, or the circles, or the rotating piece, but none of that's moving right now because it's not supposed to. All right, so now I'm going to get an axle. So I'm going to place. I'm going to go ahead and place two of these things. So there's one, and there's a second one. Check. All right, there's that. Oops. Let's see if I can get that piece right there. Yep. I could move that out here. I could rotate it a little bit if I wanted to. All right, so that's where we're going here. Now I want this to, oops, I want this thing to go inside of those holes there. So I'm going to do a different type of mate here, and the mate we're going to choose is a slider mate. Okay, and oh, that thing's really far away. It doesn't look like it is, but it is. So I'm going to get the center of that to line up with, I got to turn that lock off again. I'm going to line that up with the center of that. Okay, so my axle's sticking out kind of the wrong direction, so I want to switch directions here. But that's not far enough away either. So the thing about sliders is you can do some offsets. So I can change that offset. Oops, is that what I want to do? I'm starting to think maybe I didn't want slider. Maybe I want cylindrical. If I do cylindrical, then I can do... that's not it. Shoot, I thought I had this figured out. Revolutes, ball fastened, parallel, slider. I thought slider was the right one. Let's see what this does. 0.2. Check. Yeah, see, that sets it off that direction. That's not what I want. I'm pretty sure it's not, it's supposed to be offset a different way. All right, so limit minimum distance 0.7. That's what I want. I think there's a different way to do this, but for right now, we're just going to do 0.7 to 0.7 and then check, and that thing's not going to go anywhere. So if I select that, it's not moving anywhere. All right, so what I did is I told it like a minimum and a maximum distance to move. So I could technically have this axle move back and forth in there, but that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so let's get the other one here. This time, I'm just gonna take that. Oops. Let's get. I guess it did end up being that slider mate, wasn't it? Oh, I just feel like cylindrical mate's supposed to be able to do this. There we go. So I'm going to choose that, and I want that to go into that right there. All right. And, all right, well, I mean, there we go, limits, Z, I mean, I can do the same thing here. So I can do 0.7, check. This is just taking a while. There we go. So 0.7 to 0.7, and then it's ready to go. All right, let's check. Let's see if it rotates at all. Oh, that's why I wanted to do the other one. Okay, so I need to fix. All right, figuring it out now. I don't want this to be stuck here. I want this to be able to spin around, and I don't know that it is. So I need to fix that type of mate that I used instead of slider. Let's edit that. So instead of slider, I need to make it a cylindrical, and then it still can move around. All right, we still want our wheels to be able to move, so that's the part where I was trying to get. Okay, last is the wheels. We almost got this, guys. So I need to add 4 wheels. They're going to go right on top of each other. Now you'll notice that my wheels have multiple parts to them. All right, so we kind of have parts 1 and 2. Oops, I don't want to do that. Let's X that. Let's try that again. So I have part 1, part 2, and part 12, it looks like in here. If I select that thing though, that'll get me one of those. And then I want 4 of those though. So I'm going to do 2, 3, 4, and in here it's going to show up as parts 1, 2, and 12 multiple times. So I'm going to get these 3. I'm going to group them. I'm going to get these 3. Oops, not those 3. Now I'm going to group them. And then I'm going to get those 3 and group them. And then I'm going to get those 3 and group them. Okay, so that was kind of weird, but that's what it's going to take. That's part 2. Group 6. No more grouping. All right, let's pull that wheel. Oh, no, that's not what I want. That's supposed to be in a group with... Okay, let's pull that back. 1, 2, 3. Those are supposed to be in a group. Check. That's the problem. Group. Check. 1, 2, 3. Group. Duh. Check. 1, 2, 3. So you guys probably noticed this before I did, but that's because I wasn't seeing what I was doing here. Okay, my hand was covering that selection box. All right, so now let's see. If I move this group, does it move the whole thing? Yes. There we go. That's what we wanted. All right, so there's one tire, or one wheel, I should say. There's another wheel. There's another wheel. And every time. There's another wheel. All right. Now we gotta get these things on. All right, so I'm gonna do A. For this one, I want to do a slider mate. I guess I could have done a slider mate for the axle and then just had the wheel be the thing that's turning, but I actually wanted the axle to be the thing that was turning, so whatever. All right, so slider, I'm going to choose the middle of that circle. Again, you have to tap twice. You have to tap the circle, and then you also have to tap the center in order for it to go on there. All right, and my limits will show up here in a second. I'm going to do 0 and 0, so it's not going to move from the position it's in right now. All right, so there's that. And then I'm just going to do that with all of these. All right, so I'm going to do slider mate with that and that and limit 0, 0, check. All right, I'm just going to keep doing that real quick. Here we go. Here's this one. Slider mate. There we go. That. to that. Limits 0 and 0. Check. And last one, this one. There we go. Limit 0. 0. Check. All right. There it went. Did you see that? Woo, it rotates. So much fun. All right. So there you go. Got my big monster truck, sort of. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I was going for something quick that I could get you some information. I'm sure some of you are going to come up with some much more awesome stuff than that. Be glad to see what comes out of what you guys are working on. Catch you later.